I realized last week. Hello everyone and welcome to Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. In this, our May 23rd, 2022 show, we're going to be covering a range of topics, including what villain might be appearing in Season 3 of Superman and Lois. We're going to be talking about some upcoming comic conventions, comic book stuff, solicitations, and so much more. We're also going to turn to you to ask for your questions and comments on any particular Superman topic you would like to discuss. And to let you know how the new way of getting involved in our show works, let me introduce you to my co-host, Mr. Michael Bailey. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Steve. How's it going?
Doing well, and yourself?
I now have to learn a whole new way of telling people how they can get
a new script.
This, so, but that's okay, because this seems to be like much simpler.
Yeah.
in a weird way. You can Superman Homepage Live, which is what we're still calling ourselves until we decide to stop doing that, is all about Superman, and therefore we want to hear from the Superman fans that are watching us live right now on the show. And to do that, well, it's really easy. There's a QR code right there on the screen in front of you,
which I can try to get you back on the right hand side so that you're talking instead of me.
No, that's okay.
That's
you
okay. You
can still hear me, right?
Got it now.
Or do I?
There we go.
Okay,
there we go. Got it all figured out.
So there is a QR code right here, and I pointed in the right direction the first time, so that's good. So you're going to scan that and click on the Call Now button, and you'll be put into a green room. And when we're ready to take calls, if we are, we'll hit you up, and you'll be on the screen with us.
Yes, indeed. And for those who are tuning in live via YouTube tonight, we encourage you to participate in the YouTube comments. Right there are fellow fans watching the show live right now. Justin, Michael, Mark, Kenneth, Alex, all in there at the moment, and heaps others joining as we start the show. Feel free to chat with them, chat with us. Michael and I will keep an eye on your comments and questions, and we'll reply to them as we go along. But if you'd like your question or comment featured live on the screen, well, that's called a super chat. There's also super stickers and super thanks. All you have to do is click the dollar symbol there on YouTube. A slider will appear on your screen, and you decide on the dollar amount you're willing to donate. We will feature your comment or question live on the screen as we go along. And thank you to our patrons, Douglas Meacham, John Patrick Van Pelt, and Tina Murray. And if you'd like to support the show and support our website, simply click the join button below right there on YouTube. There are different levels of perks. All right, with all that out of the way, it would be remiss of me not to mention last week's show, which was a fantastic live interview with Nicole Maines, who played Dreamer, aka or Nia now, aka Dreamer on Supergirl. That was an awesome interview, and we got a lot of new eyes on the show last week thanks to her. I was really impressed with the way the show went.
Yeah, it was very smooth, and it kind of helped that she was really into it. So.
Made our job a lot easier.
Yes, actually, it absolutely did. When you're doing an interview, the thing you want more than anything else is for the person to talk, and not you. So the less we talk, the better.
So, hopefully in the future with this new method of way we can do interviews here on Superman Homepage Live, we will try to hit up more special guests and get some live interviews for you guys right here on the show. But for tonight, we sit back into our usual method of talking about Superman for the next hour, and we like to start with movie news. And interestingly, if I can talk, saw that there was a description on the budget that the now cancelled Wonder Twins movie had, which was revealed by the Wall Street Journal, saying that the budget for this now cancelled HBO Max project was $75 million. plus.
I don't know if that's a lot or not.
Yeah, no, neither do I. I'm not sure what to make of that, because you don't know. I mean, if it was it 10 episodes, was it 12 episodes, was it 20 episodes, was it just a movie, was it 2 hour, 3 hour?
I mean, I'm assuming at this point that if it was going to be an HBO Max movie, they weren't going to pour in. It wasn't going to be like, like 200, 300 some odd million. They just weren't going to do that. But I don't know if for like a streaming movie is that good. I mean, I just, I need context.
Yeah, well, I assume that it's probably a lot, considering that they decided to can the film, maybe deciding to save that money, or that could be better spent elsewhere. But new CEO David Zaslav sat down for a meeting with movie studio executives to discuss the recent form of the box office and go through some of the plans they had in place for HBO Max original movies, and decided that Wonder Twins was going to be scrapped and was one of those films that was probably better off left as an idea rather than move forward with it, which is kind of sad. I mean, I don't know if it would have had a massive following or but it would have been interesting to see a live action version of the Wonder Twins and how that would have played out, but not to be.
Yeah, I'm of two minds on the subject. On one hand, it's kind of cool that with streaming, we can experiment with stuff like this. We can do a Wonder Twins movie, which you're not going to release theatrically because I don't think it would go down like a lead pigeon. But on the other hand, by doing things like Wonder Twins, you still haven't got, you've got an Aquaman sequel. You've got a Flash movie that is more of a multiverse movie. You've got a Black Adam movie, and we've just had the Batman, and yet one of their flagship characters still doesn't have a movie. So, if Wonder Twins getting axed somehow leaves more resources for a Batman film, I am down for that.
Yeah, it's like I said, it remains to be seen. We will never know how it would have gone, what $75 million would have done for it. But nevertheless, it's not happening, so we move forward. And on the movie front, still, there is an upcoming animated movie coming out titled Teen Titans Go and DC Superhero Girls Mayhem in the Multiverse, being released on Blu-ray combo pack and DVD next month. It'll be available tomorrow, May 24th, digitally, but it will also be released on Blu-ray and DVD on the same day. So it's all available tomorrow. You'll be able to purchase this. It will also premiere on Cartoon Network on May 28th, and then will be available on HBO Max beginning June 28th. But we do have a preview clip from this animated movie. So here it is. Check it out. This is from Teen Titans Go and DC Superhero Girls Mayhem in the Multiverse. We meet the Legion of Doom as they attack. So there's just a bit of the clip available on our website if you want to check it out in full. Looks like the villains there sucking the heroes into some kind of vortex.
Yeah, I'm just happy that I can actually now hear the sound.
Yes, the new way we're doing things,
that was my big takeaway
folks.
From the clip.
Yeah, Michael gets to hear everything and to see everything that's going on in the past. He's kind of just like guessed at what was going on. But yeah, I'm glad you're in on the whole show now, Mike.
Yes, me too.
So as I said, the Teen Titans Go and DC Superhero Girls Mayhem in the Multiverse. Purchase it through our website for its release tomorrow on Blu-ray and DVD. Alright, let's move on to the television side of the world of Superman. And Superman and Lois returns next week for a new episode. May 31st is the next new episode, Lies That Bind, episode 12 of season 2. And we have a little bit of a schedule change for the season finale, that being the fact that the season 2 finale, which was originally scheduled to air on June 21st, will now schedule air on June 21st. It originally was June 14th, but we have now June 14th will be an encore airing of previous episodes. Sorry, I was going to say that again. Season 2 finale was supposed to be on June 21st, but we now have a June 14th airing of an encore episode, pushing everything back a week. So we've got Lies That Bind on May 31st, All Is Lost on June 7th, then on June 14th we have a repeat airing, then on June 21st we have World's War Bazaar, and then the season finale on June 28th titled Waiting for Superman. So it's just that 1 week in between, June 14th, that will have an encore screening of a previous episode. But from May 31st, June 7th, June 21st, and June 28th, we will have the final 4 episodes of Superman and Lois for season 2.
Okay. It's so weird. Things keep moving.
Yeah. And people complaining, why don't they just move this to HBO Max? And it's not about the CW. This is about COVID interfering or interrupting with filming and the whole production side of things, with having to take a break and be safe. And obviously that then impacts everything down the stream as far as editing and music and all that kind of stuff as well. So just that one break in the middle of the 4 episodes that are still to air. But next week, May 31st, new episode, Lies That Bind. Looking forward to it. Cannot wait to see this next new episode. Feels like we've been on another lengthy break, but it has been 3 weeks. So looking forward to this next new episode.
I'm kind of fascinated by the fact that people are wanting it to go to HBO Max. Do they really want less eyes on this show?
Mm.
I mean, yes, I realize that there's probably a bunch of people that watch through the CW app, but that's free. You don't have to pay for the app. You don't pay for a subscription service. It's because it's network. So why would you want a show to move to HBO Max just so that it all airs on a weekly basis? It seems like the logic there just fails me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It should be freely available to the widest audience. So yeah, it's keep it on the CW as far as I'm concerned. For you guys, it's on Foxtel here, which is the paid subscription service, which a lot of people have. But it seems to be doing well here as well. But here's the trailer for this upcoming episode. You've seen it before, but just a refresh, a reminder on what we have to look forward to next week.
You've been keeping this huge secret from me.
Lana, I'm sorry.
Clark being Superman is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more you need to know.
They have no one left over there to protect them. They're gonna need our help.
Can't save everybody.
Well, I have to try.
Superman and Lois, new episodes Tuesday, May 31st. Free next day, only on the CW app.
So there you have it. The upcoming episode, Lies That Bind. Poor Lana getting thrown in the deep end.
Yep.
It's not enough that she's now the new mayor, but Clark's Superman. But by the way, there's a doppelganger out there of you who wants to kill everybody here on our Earth.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot, but that's okay.
She can take it. All right, so that's the upcoming episode of Superman and Lois and the new schedule that we have to look forward to. But both Tyler Hoechlin and Elizabeth Tulloch spoke to Entertainment Tonight on the red carpet at the recent Warner Brothers Discovery Upfront presentation. And, Elizabeth nearly let a cat out of the bag as far as what's coming up in season 3, and Tyler was like very protective and kind of, hang on, just don't say too much. And here's exactly what was said.
Between season 1 and season 2, the beginning of season 2 was a direct pickup of the end of season 1.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
I
This is
don't
what
know
I'm here
why
for.
anybody
This
takes
is what I'm
me
here for.
anywhere.
Yeah. You'll see at the end of this season why our answer isn't anything definite.
Yeah,
So a
yeah,
little bit
we're
of
still
tease there.
airing. But I will say, I do know that we're getting a very cool villain. Can I say that? I already said that.
You already did.
So a very cool villain coming in season 3. Any guesses?
Some people are like, "Oh, it's going to be like an ice base or a freezing based villain," and I'm like, "Yeah, because Superman's got so many of those."
Very cool doesn't necessarily translate like word for word. I think she's meaning fun. Very cool meaning it's great.
I got that. That was my
No,
take on it too.
But for all these people out there who take things so literally,
yeah. Because the headline I saw literally said, Elizabeth Bitsy Tulloch nearly basically how was it worded? It was so weird. It was just like Bitsy Tulloch reveals villain for 3rd season on the sly, and I'm like, really?
No,
I mean, it's just as bad as the headline about it's just like, you won't get season 3 of Superman and Lois in 2022. Well, yeah. Because we just got season 2, and they've all been mid-season. So, what a lazy headline.
But a lot of people guessing Lex Luthor for season 3. That's a very strong possibility.
I mean, I'd like it. I'm really up for anything at this point. That they did such a good job with this season that I can't imagine that the next season won't be as good. You've got a very strong writing crew, a really, a showrunner that has a really good handle on how to break, on how to, basically balance everything. You want something to please the Superman fans, but you also, want to do what's right for the show, and they've really walked that tightrope perfectly. Justin in the chat asks how I would feel about Lex Luthor. I'd love Lex Luthor. Who would? I would love them to bring. I'd love to see a different take on. Why can't I remember that actor's name? John Cryer's Lex Luthor, because I don't think it would be the same Lex as Supergirl. I think he would have a completely different dynamic with Superman. So that would be cool to see, but it would also be predicated on what's the plot, what is bringing him into conflict with Superman this time, and hopefully it's not land.
A lot of people saying they wouldn't be that impressed if it was Lex Luthor. Like, he's been done time and time again on TV and movies. We've only seen Brainiac, the one live-action Brainiac in Krypton. We've seen Doomsday a number of times now in both Krypton and obviously in Batman v Superman. And Smallville. Brainiac was in Smallville as well, obviously, but not in the green skin version that we've come to know from the comic books. Darkseid, we kind of saw that.
No,
it's in the end of Smallville. I don't know. I'm kind of torn because Superman and Lois has been doing so well with these bigger than life villains, who are of equal power to Superman. We've had Kryptonians or Kryptonian-like people. We've had, Bizarro, but we haven't really had any kind of Earth-based villains.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see, Lex from that perspective, or maybe something like Metallo, Parasite. I don't know.
Yeah, just really...
Mixius Pitalik.
Fingers crossed. Even bring in that what was that villain that Dan Jurgens created for the Superman and Lois miniseries? the one in white. That I can't remember the character's name, but it was a really kind of cool villain for Superman to fight. It was the one that he was keeping him in like his own personal fortress. Man, my mind's not working right now.
Was he Kryptonian? Was he?
No, he was. He had the long white hair, and he joined up with like Zod and the Cyborg.
Okay,
and
wasn't
all of them.
L?
No. Why are you trying to get
I'm
me
tormenting
to
you. I'm tormenting you. I know. Maybe someone.
L. Yeah, the character find of 2012. L.
No one's saving us in the comments either. Usually, I'm looking at.
No.
Mark is suggesting like Terror Man or Master Jailer.
Terror Man. That'd be great.
Cerberus.
Wow, Mark, that's that would be interesting. How would I feel about Lobo? Please no, I'm not a fan of Lobo.
Not even the new sparkly one from the New 52?
No, not even. No, you're not gonna get me all excited about something, by describing it as sparkly, unless it's like an effervescent drink. So.
So we'll have to wait and see just who they do bring in for season 3 of Superman and Lois. But as you mentioned, the season won't begin until early 2023, which is kind of normal. Don't expect, the programming and scheduling has been thrown out in recent times because of COVID, and they've just gone, it's ready, let's go at a different time than what we normally would. But the beginning of a year seems pretty normal for me as far as a new season is concerned. Mind the Gap saying he would like Solaris.
Yeah. Cute sun guy.
Prankster would be a cool villain, says Kenneth.
I'm all for Conduit. I think it's
yes, Kenny Raven.
We're in Smallville, so it kind of makes sense.
Could do. That would be an interesting a deep dive into the world of Superman. So we'll wait and see. Keep an eye on the Superman homepage for all the details. But coming up about Superman and Lois the remainder of season 2, and as we move into season 3 early next year. All right. Also, just quickly on the TV side of things, Nolan North, who is the voice of Superman and Superboy on the Young Justice animated series, will be appearing in London this coming weekend at the MCM London Comic Con, which takes place across May 27th to May 29th. Tickets are available through mcmcomiccon.com, and you'll be able to catch Nolan North there in London, which is pretty cool for fans in that area.
Yep, absolutely.
And still on the convention side of things, I was happy to see that Michael Rosenbaum and Tom Welling will be appearing in Sydney and Perth for Supernova conventions. The Sydney convention will take place at Sydney Olympic Park across June 18th to June 19th, while the Perth event will be June 25th, June 26th. And the two of them will be also bringing Smallville Nights, which is a separate ticketed event to the convention. The fans you can hear stories from the two, you can ask questions about Smallville and so much more at this night event that will take place at both Sydney and Perth. And that's Saturday, June 18th in Sydney and June 25th in Perth. Tickets are strictly limited, and you can get them from moshtix.com. So interesting to see the pair finally arriving here in Australia. They had promised to be out here last year or the year before, but COVID stuffed everything up there, and the guys are back this year. Am I going?
So you're going?
I have put in a request to be there from a media perspective, so to get a media pass to be reporting on the event. Yet to see if that has come through. I also put my name down to do a Superman in like an 80-year history panel as a presenter which I've put in a couple of months ago, so I'm waiting to hear back on that as well. But if that comes to fruition, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, hoping to be there June 18th for the Sydney Supernova Comic Con and Gaming event. Stay posted on details for that.
So you really, if you go to Smallville Nights, if you decide to pay for that, you really have to write up the event, I spent the night with Superman. And I don't think there is any other headline. If you use any other headline, I will never forgive you.
Wow, okay. What about I spent the night with Superman and Lex Luthor?
I'm okay with that. Just some iteration of that.
Okay.
That's actually freakier. That proves how open-minded you are.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, come back on the flip side to do our fan favourite segment of the show, This Week in History, and then get into the comic book side of the world of Superman. So don't go anywhere, stick with us. We'll be back right after this.
We'll be back in a moment with the exciting climax of today's episode. So stand by.
If you're enjoying Superman Homepage Live, then please like and share this video with your family and friends. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, then you can click on the bell to receive notifications whenever we post a new video. You can also join our YouTube membership program, just click the join button below. Or you can become a patron and support our website by going to patreon.com/Superman Homepage.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane. No, it's SupermanHomepage.com, the #1 Superman fan site in the world. SupermanHomepage.com, covering the world of Superman from the 1930s to today. News, reviews, rumors, and reports. SupermanHomepage.com for all your Superman comics, TV shows, movies, cartoons, radio shows, and more. Everything you ever wanted to know about the Man of Steel and more. SupermanHomepage.com.
Thanks, Superman Homepage, for all the support over the years. I really appreciate it.
I'm Matt Balmer, the voice of Superman and Superman Unbound, and this is the Superman Homepage.
Right here on Superman Homepage.
I'm freezing! Superman!
Uh-oh, sounds like Lisa and Scott are trapped in the icy cave of that frosty-faced villain, Captain Cold. This is a job for Superman.
My fast freeze zapper will freeze Superman forever.
No way, Captain. Here, kids, my new Superman Hot Cocoa Mix is the super-tasting way to warm up.
It's really sweet. And chocolatey.
And see, Captain Cold can't take this warm reception. New Superman Hot Cocoa, the super-tasting way to warm up.
Poor Captain Cold, that nose is running so severely in that commercial.
Also, it looks like Superman threw him into a wall. So it's just like, what are you doing?
All right, as I said, we're going to get into the fan favourite segment of our show. Here's our intro. All right, Michael, what was our fan favourite question from last week?
Who is your favorite supporting cast member on the Supergirl TV series? And Amethyst Willow wrote in saying, my favorite supporting cast member of Supergirl was Martian Manhunter.
Thank you, Amethyst. Great to hear from you. And that's a short but sweet reply. Thank you very much. Also, we had another Amethyst, not new, but Mia. I don't think we've heard from Mia before, but probably watched our show last week and said, I watched the episode with Nicole Maines and I'm obsessed with her. And Supergirl was and is a huge part of my life. And other than Dreamer, I think my favourite supporting character was Esme. So adorable. Yes, there's a little Esme there.
Or Lena Luthor.
Oh, Lena, she says yes as well.
Yeah, Esme is adorable. I don't know. That's bold. That's a late entry.
Yes.
So,
thank you, Mia.
Thank you, Mia. JP Rocha wrote, my favorite Supergirl character was Katie McGrath's Lena Luthor.
Yeah, she kind of grew on me as the show went along. Not that the story did, but with her having witch powers and all that kind of stuff at the end there. But as a character, she kind of grew on me. So
no, I liked her. I liked her too, pretty much from the beginning. But I was familiar with the actress because of Christmas movies.
Okay,
So.
Yes, there you go. Jules wrote in saying it's a hard question, but I think Mon-El, his character growth was so huge in time and interesting. But again, as with many other characters in the show, there was a lot of wasted potential. So yeah, interesting.
That's fair. Kenneth Crowley Jr. wrote, I've been a huge fan of the Supergirl TV series. While it had its flaws, I liked the show a lot and have always supported it. With that being said, my favorite Supergirl TV series supporting character was her sister, Alex Danvers. The sister relationship on the show is the heart and soul of Supergirl, and without Alex, Supergirl is not the same hero we all know and love. Also, Alex Danvers is a badass character in her own right.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Kyla Lee's performance. She had a great range of emotional range in her acting, so a great choice. And then we also had Ryan Ignatius Pratt, who said, I would say that my favourite supporting character from Supergirl would be Brainiac 5. He could be both humorous and serious. Admittedly, his humour might have been annoying to some when he was first introduced, but I think once the show more seriously explored the character, Brainy became a much more compelling figure and, as a result, a solid contributor to the show's cast and storylines. Yeah, Jesse Rath doing a great job there with Brainiac. Thank you to everyone who responded. That's really cool. Thank you to the new people. Hopefully you continue to watch the show to see and hear your name read out in this episode of Superman Homepage Live. But moving forward, Michael, what is our new fan favourite question for this week?
What is your favorite episode of Superman the Animated Series?
Yes, plenty of great ones to choose from. Get involved in the fan favourite segment of our show. The email address is scrolling across the bottom of your screen now. info@supermanhomepage.com. Let us know your favourite episode of Superman the Animated Series, and we will read out the responses when we return to this segment next week. Some good ones to choose from. Huzzah indeed. All right, let's move into the This Week in History segment of our show.
Come with me now, my son, as we break through the bonds of your earthly confinement, traveling through time and space.
It is forbidden for you to interfere with human history. It's the first time I heard it. It is so nice. I've been tickled pink this entire episode that I get to hear everything. I don't think people realized how much I was faking it. Anyways, we're starting off in 1952 this week with Adventure Comics number 178, which looks like a very... Is the cover's not coming up?
Oh, sorry, I was just... Mark's trying to call in, which we'll get to soon, Mark, so
Okay.
Just hang there. We'll bring up the This Week in History. Here we go.
Yep, the boy in the lead mask, which is just a great cover.
Where am I going?
Also, Action Comics number 170 came out in the same week, which has the Mad Artist of Metropolis, and plus a Tommy Tomorrow story. Jumping ahead to 1962, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, number 62, Superman's Phantom Pal, because of course Jimmy's... Oh, it's an Elastic Lad story. I don't know how I feel about that now. We're going to go to 1972 because it's Elastic Lad, and really just... suddenly I'm Tommy Lee Jones to Jim Carrey. I can't sanction that buffoonery. Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, number 124. Lois Lane battles the Hunter. Lois Lane, prove you are a queen. Kill him. I'm sure everything in that comic is still very, very culturally safe. You also had Superboy number 188, which has Superboy just carrying a train off the super savage Lord of the Concrete Jungle, plus a new Legion of Superheroes saga. Going ahead to 1982, Action Comics number 534. This was the start of a really cool storyline where Lord Satanus and Cyrene split Superman into two, and he's got half his powers. And something that I was only pointed out to me recently, Lord Satanus, his name, the spelling of his name changed when it went to post-crisis.
Oh,
I was
okay.
literally it was literally a month ago. I mean, I've been reading these comics for decades. It's the first time I noticed that. We also have the New Adventures of Superboy number 32, where Superboy is apparently fighting one of the Thundercats. That's very nice. We also had World's Finest number 282, which has Superman fighting a dragon and Batman getting tied up by flying tigers. So that's 2 heroes, 2 dooms. 1992, we have Adventures of Superman number 492. This was the big storyline with Agent Liberty. It says Agent Liberty goes bad. Apparently, they were looking into the future to the Supergirl television series. We also had Superman, the Man of Steel annual number 1, which was part of the Eclipso, the Darkness Within storyline, with a cover by Joe Quesada. So, I don't know if people I don't know if people know who Joe Quesada is these days, actually.
Yeah, good point.
He hasn't really been on the radar much in the past 10 years. In 2002, we had Action Comics number 791, which was part of a cool storyline involving Clark going back to Smallville. And we had Supergirl number 70, which apparently has a lot of frogs.
Reminds me of the
I have no memory of
scene in E.T.
E.T. versus Batman. Sorry. Watch the Rescue Rangers film. That will make a lot more sense. 2012, we had Superman number 7, which was by Dan Jurgens, Keith Giffen, and
for some reason
Jesus
I have
Marino.
Superman number 9 there.
Superman number 9. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I screwed myself up. It is Superman number 9.
Okay,
You're right.
cool.
Again, I really don't have a lot of memories of these. I guess I have to go back and read those at some point.
Especially considering it's Jurgens.
Yeah, I mean, I remember liking those issues, but I don't remember the plots. So, in the real world, on May 23rd, Win Mortimer, artist, was born in 1919, and on May
those
27th...
panels. Sorry, before you get into the next one, they really drew the comic books huge back in those days, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a massive, it's a massive panel there in his hand.
And the May 27th, Richard Schiff, who was Emil Hamilton in Man of Steel and was also on the show West Wing and is currently on The Good Doctor, was born in 1955, and that is This Week in History.
Cool. Thank you very much for that, Michael. Really cool to go back in time and have a look at those old comic books. All right, we do have our first caller in this new system, and he is on video this time. It's usually been in audio in the past. I'm going to bring in Mark Lax. Welcome, Mark.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Doing well, and yourself?
Doing good.
Oh, not too bad, not too bad.
Great to see you.
I'm trying to get used here. I'm usually not on videos, so I'm trying to get used to this. So.
Yeah, very cool. So we're about to get into the comic book side of things, which I know is the side of the world of Superman that you're always keen to discuss, and you do a number of reviews for our website. I saw that Superboy won the recent DC fan voting bracket, this DC Round Robin 2022, where they fans got to vote on a number of proposed ideas for upcoming storylines, and Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, won out. It's a 6-issue comic book series that will determine Connor Kent's fate. It says, determined to find his place in a strange universe, Connor Kent, Superboy, leaves Earth behind, but his journey of self-discovery brings him face to face with a group of freedom fighters who challenge not just everything Connor stands for, but what it means to bear the Superman crest. Very interesting.
That's pretty cool. I mean, this is the first time I think a Superman type of title is won. How long have they been doing this? A few years?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. I think they've been doing it. So it's good to see a Superboy or a Superman title, as you say, be the chosen. I think Connor's got a big following in DC fandom.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Going back for, well, not quite 30 years. Well, almost 30 years now.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see that one. Sorry, Mike.
I was about to say it's probably a lot to do with Young Justice.
Yeah.
Making him such a popular, introducing him to a new generation of fans. So it makes sense that a comic book about him might do well in one of these things.
Very cool. So wait to see that one come out. Don't think we've got a release date at this point in time, but it'll be later this year that we will see Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, 6-issue miniseries released. Tom Taylor is back at it with DCeased. He said it was always planned to be a trilogy, he says. But DCeased, what's it called? War of the Undead is the name of this final entry, if you like, into the DCeased world of DC Comics. They actually released a little bit of a trailer for this. Have a look.
Just at the point where we thought we won, it turns out we've always planned this to be a trilogy. It only gets bigger from here. Just recently, a undead anti-life virus has taken the entire Earth, and over 5 years we've lost so many superheroes. They've come together in DCeased Dead Planet to find a cure, to find a vaccine, and now we get to the next point. You're going to see that Unliving Darkseid infected all the new gods, and now we have a war against the Undead Gods across the cosmos.
Yeah, the Undead Gods thing is no, that was new to me. I love it.
Brainiac will be a player. We will probably see the likes of Sinestro. We'll see Green Lanterns. We'll see Lobo. We'll see New Gods. Guy Gardner, of course, is a character that I always enjoy writing. So he gets probably some of my favourite lines of issue 2. There's going to be acetate wrapped covers. Of course, we've got another Matina Faces of Death cover. And we have some fantastic Dan Mora variant covers, homages to something that we can't speak of, but I think fans will be very excited. Just like with every other issue of DCeased, we have a big shock basically at the end of every issue.
So every page I draw, I'm going, oh, wow, okay, that's happening.
And as always, don't get attached to anyone.
Don't get attached to anyone, Tom says. Thoughts?
Well, comic books are still so family friendly now, you know. I mean, you just go to the store and just pick up, you know, anything with the head exploding, and you know, not a problem.
You know,
I mean, when I started collecting, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was about to say, in all honesty, given that DC is publishing so many different types of books right now, this doesn't bother me near as much as it used to, because I'm like, okay, there's an audience for this. Obviously, they wouldn't make it a trilogy unless a lot of people were buying the book. And you know, there's something about writing, you know, basically what is a disaster film starring DC characters. But this isn't like the problem before was it seemed like no matter where you turned, it was all this. But now it's just one part of a larger universe. So, you know, more power to them. The creative team seems to be having fun.
There are family-friendly books out there. And, you know, some of the main books, you know, the main books aren't like they were. I mean, when I started collecting in the early 80s, you know, they were very, very family-friendly, you know, and you know, reading, I mean, the Action Comics run is pretty good with, you know, Phil Kennedy Johnson writing it, the Warworld saga, but I don't know if we would have that like back in 1985 as a Superman storyline. I could be wrong, but I don't, you know, I mean, it's just, there's still a lot of blood and violence that you didn't quite see at, you know, at the time, and that's okay because times are different and kids are a little more, I think, sophisticated when it comes to certain things, so it's not that big a deal. I was just kind of making a joke that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
All
but
this stuff.
It is actually quite a good story, and I've been impressed with Mark. With Tom Taylor's writing is fantastic, no matter what he does. But yeah, it is quite entertaining, and it's a pretty good read. Yeah, it's obviously outside of continuity. Don't get attached to anybody, as he says. Because characters are coming and going left, right, and center, and being killed off and turned into zombies and what have you. So if you're into that, it's quite a good read. But the Eisner Awards, Michael, I know that Will Eisner was a legend of the comic book industry, and these awards have been obviously named in his honor. In 2022, we have a couple of Superman-related books that are nominated for Eisner Awards, and one of those is the Superman Red and Blue title, which was a fantastic read, a limited series of short stories that were quite entertaining. And also Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, has also been nominated for an award. So looking forward to seeing whether those two comic books get recognition in the Eisner Awards. So looking forward to that.
Well, Red and Blue is just fantastic. I didn't read Supergirl, so I can't say. It always seems Tom King, whatever he writes, whether you like it or not, he always gets some kind of nomination. He's a good writer. I don't enjoy everything he wrote, but I didn't read this title, so I can't say. But the Superman Red and Blue was just fantastic.
Yeah, Supergirl, the Woman of Tomorrow is great visually. The artwork is stunning, but the story, being a Tom King story, wasn't to my liking. It was brooding and dark, and it's supposed to be hopeful, but at the end kind of kicks you in the teeth just to be a Tom King type of story. But Red and Blue was an awesome read. Michael, did you read any of the Red and Blue issues?
Yes. I read the first one, and I read the third one, but for very selfish reasons. So
yes. That's
but
so cool. It really was.
I can't thank Michelle Fife enough for that. But no, what I liked about it is anytime you have an anthology book like that, there's going to be stories that you're ho-hum about and stories you like, but it's nice to have that option. And it's people doing different takes on Superman. And in that context, it's kind of neat to see different takes because it's not the main universe, for lack of a better term. Batman usually gets that sort of thing again and again, and it was nice to have Superman get it, and it's nice that it's receiving an Eisner nomination. Yeah,
very cool. Well, it's been great chatting with you, Mark. Thank you so much. Was there anything else you wanted to leave us with before we let you go?
No, not really. It's been a while. I want to say hello. I wanted to try this new because I haven't tried it before. So.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Thank you for doing that. That was awesome because we weren't sure how it was going to work either. Having a caller come in the middle of the show, and whether I could put you in the green room and all that kind of stuff. So thank you for testing that out for us.
All right.
All right, Mark.
I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Mark Lax joining us tonight on video for the first time. Usually it used to be an audio call, so it's great that we've got this system working and it works quite well. So if you do want to be a caller on our show, head to supermanhomepage.com/live and click on the Call Now button. We would love to chat with you. All right, the solicitations from DC Comics for August was also released this past week, and there were a couple of notable Superman issues that we should probably have a look at, and they were, there's this one, interestingly, Action Comics 1046. The climactic battle for the fate of Warworld is fast approaching. The Authority is finally reunited, but no longer as allies. Superman fights to retrieve a mythical ancient weapon that can free the people of Warworld. Natasha Irons, Midnighter, and OMAC fight for the souls of their own teammates. Meanwhile, in the Fortress of Solitude, it's all hands on deck as the entire Super family joins forces to recover the Genesis fragment from one of Superman's earliest classic enemies. And there we have John Henry Irons as Steel on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
Looking quite different to what we've seen him before.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to the costume he had in when Dennis Cowan and Christopher Priest were doing the series, and he was part of the JLA. That's what that S symbol looks like. But it's cool. I always like seeing John Henry in the books. It's not like he's not on TV or anything. Side
and yes, and then we also have Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 14. Henry Bendix has threatened and manipulated and killed without consequence. Now, after a shocking coordinated attack on Earth's heroes, It's time for Superman, Jay, and the Revolutionaries to strike back. But first, Jay Nakamura must embrace his powers and become the hero John knows he can be. Interesting cover.
Yeah, of course he has superpowers. Everyone has to get superpowers. This is like a CW show now.
No, we always knew Jay had superpowers. He could phase in and out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was not new, but he's now donning a new costume by the looks of things, where in the past he's kind of not really had a costume at all. So, yeah, there we have it. Upcoming solicitations. Anything else in the August solicitations that caught your eye?
Not really. This is like one of the few months where like not even the trade paperbacks were catching my. You got issue 6 of World's Finest, which I thought I still got to read issue 2, but I really liked the first issue, so I want to kind of catch up with that. It seems like this is them having to deal with Robin being lost in the time stream. But yeah, it was really weird. I was looking at it over the weekend because I'm like, well, Steve and I are going to be talking about this, and I was just like, wow, I want nothing here pretty much except World's Finest. It's
not even
weird.
DC Saved by the Belle Reve #1. Interesting play.
That whole Dark Crisis thing, just I suddenly feel like I'm yelling at you all to get off my lawn. I didn't fight no WW2 for a Dark Crisis. But yeah, it's just I'm not trying to sound negative because, again, I hope everybody out there that is reading these books is enjoying these books. The worst thing that I think you could wish on somebody is that their favorite books get canceled, and I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. So if everyone's happy with them, more power to you.
Yep, indeed. Well, that's looking at August. Let's look now a little bit closer to home. This week we have the following comic books coming up, and they are, I'm just grabbing them right now. We have, it's just the one, Action Comics 1043, which is available in this cool variant cover, which makes up the background that's behind me on my green screen as we chat tonight. Action Comics 1043. It's the only one that's out there this week for Superman fans, but it is a big one. Action Comics, one of the main titles of the Superman books, continuing the War World saga, and our review of this book will be up on the website tomorrow morning, so you won't have to wait long to see the review and decide if this is an issue you want to pick up, which I think you should, because I think Philip Kennedy Johnson has been doing an awesome job on this War World saga and well worth reading. All right. Now, Michael, have you ever ridden a motorbike?
A scooter. I didn't drive it, but I rode on the back of it, which was kind of terrifying given who was driving it at the time. So, but no.
Well, you might have wanted to wear one of these helmets. Ruroc,
oh yeah,
motorcycle helmet manufacturer, recently announced a range of DC-themed Atlas 4.0 motorcycle helmets. There is a little bit of a trailer associated with this as well, a little bit of a video. If I can find it for you, here is the Atlas 4.0 Superman helmet. Whoops, let me get out of here and play that for you once again. There you have it. That's a massive production for a helmet design. But
I was about to say,
here is the helmet in all its glory.
I mean, some people go out to the barn and discover their rocket ship, and some people discover a Superman helmet and go riding.
Yeah, it was like the rocket ship was the motorbike, but it was just the motorbike. I was waiting for a Superman-themed motorbike as well under there, but it's pretty cool. Nice helmet. Nice looking helmet.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree completely.
So there is a giveaway for one of 5 helmets. These will go faster than a speeding bullet, as they say. So head to ruroc.com. That's RUROC.com if you want to check out the giveaway for these helmets. Now, if you're living in the Corpus Christi, Texas area, you might want to purchase a house that happens to be on Superman Drive, or maybe Krypton Drive. There is a whole estate there, the Starlight Estate subdivision of Yorktown Boulevard in Corpus Christi, has streets named after superhero, Marvel and DC characters. As I said, there's Superman, there's Krypton, there's Hulk, Iron Man, Spider-Man. Wow, imagine living on Superman Drive.
Yeah, even this would not get me to move to Texas right now, but that is cool.
That is really cool. Yeah, I've seen plenty of Lois lanes in different places, and that's obviously a cool way to play on that name. But yeah, Krypton Drive, Superman Drive, why not? Multiverses, the video game, is doing a closed alpha, which is currently on, and 3 of the Superman homepage crew members have gotten invites to be part of this closed alpha. It's an invite-only, all-new free-to-play version of the game that they're obviously testing out before it is released later on. The closed alpha runs through May 27th, and you can head to multiverses.com and try to participate in this closed alpha if you can get an invitation. But here's a little bit of a video on this closed alpha for Multiverses. It's a bit of a pro player showcase.
You're on a stage like this, if you get caught by one of those up bears or the mallet right on the side of the stage, it's gonna go ahead and find the ring out.
Hello, I'm the Purple Sharpie, and you're watching the Multiverses Pro Player Showcase. Multiverses is an all-new, free-to-play platform fighter featuring team-based 2v2 matchups and an ever-expanding iconic roster of characters using teamwork and strategy unlike any other. Developed by Player First Games, Multiverses will be released on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC with full cross-play support. Today, well-known platform fighters and fighting game players will be competing in a best-of-5 2v2 match. With dedicated server-based rollback netcode, these matches will be a fantastic display of all looking to get a glimpse of insane Multiverses action. To call all the action...
So there's this half-hour video there that you can watch on our website, but the guys who are playing it from the Superman homepage team are thoroughly impressed, and this looks like a hell of a lot of fun.
Yep.
So there you have it.
I enjoyed the trailer that was released.
Yes, yes. All right, well, that pretty much brings us to the end of tonight's Superman Homepage Live 1-hour show. We hope you enjoyed and were entertained for this past hour. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and watched the show live with us. Mark, Mind the Gap, Rom, JP, Kenneth, and so many others who joined us live tonight and participated in the comments. We really appreciate your involvement, and thanks to Mark Lax for calling in and testing out our new system tonight. And thank you to you, my co-host, Michael Bailey. Thanks, Mike.
Pleasure as always, Steve.
Remember, if you missed part of the show, tuned in late, want to check it out all over again, you can do so through supermanhomepage.com and our YouTube channel. But Michael and I will be back next week for our next episode of Superman Homepage Live on Monday, May 30th, for our final May show, which will include our monthly segments. We hope you'll join us then at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Until then, be sure to check out supermanhomepage.com for all your daily news updates on everything surrounding the Man of Steel. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, a like right now on YouTube as we exit the show. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm Steve Eunice. On behalf of myself and Michael Bailey, thanks for watching Superman Homepage Live, brought to you by supermanhomepage.com. Bye.